I don't know, in the time, we're talking about 30 years ago. Yeah. So when all this happened, let's say this kind of transformation in my life, when I realized, I have to go to the sea and look for happiness somewhere in the world, an island far away. Yeah. This was a mix from curiosity and from also a little bit stupidity, and but also enough, or let's say the ego was big enough to let me believe I can do it. You know what I mean? So it was a good mix, actually. Who guided me always in that direction, and why the sea? I don't know. I read many books about sailing and so on from people, sail around the world. I was always impressed, because they saw the whole world. And in some way, this fastness, this long distance cruising, far away from the shore, no people, no land, nothing. Maybe it's attracted me also a little bit. No? It can also be. No? But also the white beaches and the palm trees and the easy life and the curiosity, if I can find somewhere in the world a place where I can be happy, where I can be happy.
You wanna be happy?
Naja, this is something I realized later. Because when you start such an adventure, it becomes also a bigger vision. No? There is a bigger vision behind. In my case, was sailing around the world. No? That was some kind of goal. I said that would be a big adventure in your lifetime. But if you can manage that, sailing around the world. No? So, and this is the big challenge. No? But then, the real life, the real learning, the real happening happens every day. Not only after the world, once around the world, so every day is the challenge. This is when then life really happens. You know what I mean? Because that's what happened in the future. Nobody knows. And because did I made it around the world? No. I made it not around the world, but it was also not necessary anymore. Because after 6-7 years on the boat, I knew what to expect, because I saw many beaches, many palm trees, and I had many nights at sea and many nice places, sunsets, sunrises, whatever, dolphins. They had so many nice things. And still, there was a day when I realized it's time to go back on the land. I felt very tight on the boat. I didn't enjoy it anymore. Then in the end, and that was then also the time when I decided to go back on land. No? But until this day, there was 7 years in between, where many things happened in that time, from how does it start, how does it end, you know what I mean? This is quite a big time frame.
Okay. Before saying and after saying, could you say it was the same Mario Wormstein?
Nein, no. ¿Por qué? Naja, you're coming here in the universe like that, you're like, then we see each other, but we always moving, So, and then we were getting older, and then, so we slowly go down again, And this period is maybe 70 years or 100 years. Boom, boom. So, and this happened permanent. This doesn't stop. This is a never-ending story. Yeah. And we are now exactly in that same point again. Nah. And now we can, with that hopefully expanded point of view we have, maybe we can grow out of it. Nah. This is the challenge, and it is also the urge and the seeing to find it. Because when you can imagine that things like that exist, to grow out of the wheel, of this wheel here. You don't want to be there anymore. You want to be here. At least to check out how it works. You know? You don't want to be here because it's not good. So, and to recognize this and to try to cultivate that during your lifetime, it is a pretty honorable goal. Nah. And how far you go, and this is not the primary reason to do that. You know what I mean? It's not the point. The point is to go back to my stages, that every human being has to experience different stages of life, in life, to fulfill his part, whatever it means. There are millions, billions of different colors, you know, in that direction. And yeah, and we are here today with a camera and record something. Anyway, we sit here on that earth, and this is all that we can imagine. We see the oceans, we see the beaches, we see the forests, we see the people, the animals. We have so much to see and to do that we're getting absolute stuck. You know, we're absolute stuck on Earth. We try to manage our existence because we are so identified with that what we are, and it's getting harder and harder for us to become more light again and imagine the vastness, you know, of the universe. I see it always as a step. I see it never as a absolute breakthrough, you know, in enlightenment or something like that. I always see it as a new eye opener, yeah? And also many things getting more clear also, where you maybe 10, 15 years ago you would have said, now you're even getting more clear in some things, you know. And you're calming down a bit also. You're calming down a bit. Because you know, make no sense. Make no sense. But also the movement has his right to exist, no, in a human being's life. So, and I had a very intense life with a lot of movement because I was moving a lot with adventures and with walking and with sailing and with driving, but it was nice, no, for a while then also, no? And I get a lot of input which I needed maybe also because everybody's different. Everybody's different. But I still was looking in the outside. I was looking in the outside. I was not in that time. I was not on that point where I start looking intensively in the inside. I was still a lot in the outside now, going sailing, palm trees, the beach, another sailor. What they doing? What we doing? Is the boat okay? I was busy. Yeah? I kept myself busy. But I was never a good sailor, I have to say. Also, I always want to make it to the next island. So I was never somebody who really enjoyed actually the sea. Never enjoyed really the sea.
You didn't enjoy it. Why?
No, yeah, you had to be responsible, yeah? Because there is a weather. There's weather. There's wind. There's rain clouds. Squalls with a lot of wind inside, for example, other boats. So you have to always be on watch when you are out at sea, day and night.
This could be exhausting.
It's very exhausting. Yeah, You have a rhythm after with two people is okay. No? Some people do it alone, no? But I always go with somebody, also 2 people. No? But still at night 3 hours, 3 hours, 3 hours. No? So and then you or some other everybody has a different rhythm, but we did usually 3 hours. No? And then so after 2-3 days, it's schon okay. In the evening the sun goes down, you're sitting in the boat, you eat something, no? See the sunset. And then the sun is down and then it's getting dark. So there are you with the boat, a little boat, depends on the weather. Can be okay, can also be already, you know already, oh, the night will be bumpy. Because you know already, because the wind is there, the waves, and it's getting dark. So you have to prepare yourself for that, because it's on a different noise level also the whole night, in the boat. Because if the boat moves a lot, there's a lot of bum, you know, because there's always a wave coming or something. No. And so the days go by, and you see on your cards and on your maps how you move, no? You see, oh, now I'm 2 days out, 3 days out, 4 days out. As you far, no? And then you are 10 days out. And you're okay. Now, not 5 days, okay, 15 days, 16 days, and then you arrive. 16 days was my longest journey at sea. 16 days.
16 days.
Without land.
Wow.
From Seychelles to Oman. That was a big stretch. It was one of my big dreams to cross the Atlantic, and when I crossed the Atlantic, I was already pretty, let's say, tired of sailing a little bit already. No? I was not tired, but I was a little bit not so excited anymore, let's say. No? Okay. So, and then this big Atlantic crossing was the first big crossing with my daughter also. Mm-hmm. No? My daughter was 2 years in the time. And I had a friend with me also. He joined us in Cabo Verde, also before we then took off finally. But before we reached the Cabo Verde, we had 2 big journeys to do, 5 days and 7 days to go there. No? So, and we had to cross the Mediterranean, and there was already a lot of sailing before, you know. So, and my friend, he gets sick on the sea. He had a problem with his foot, and we had to give him very strong medication. So he slept nearly the whole time. Yeah. So but I counted a little bit on him also. Then we had very bad weather, the squalls and the wind, and I was only with my girlfriend and with my daughter also now on top of it. So anyway, this trip was quite challenging. In some way, as we reached Fernando Noronha, in me, it was like, I think that's it. I don't want to go anymore. I don't want to do anything anymore. Nah. So let's say in the beginning I was curious. I mastered it, and it was also okay. And then over the time I getting more and more fearful, and because the sea is pretty hard sometimes, you know. And so I became maybe over-respectful to the sea, let's say, no? And then it became in this kind of fear. You know? You're coming in this fear thing, and that's not a good thing at sea, you know, to be fearful so much. Mm. It's good to have respect, but it's not good to be too fearful. No? Because then it's getting stressful at sea, you know. And every wind, every cloud, every rain makes you a little bit like nervous, you know what I mean? This is then too much, because you have too much, it's too much emotion involved then. And that moment, at that time also, I had not the opportunity to master it, I have to say. I was just caught in that. I realized, no, I couldn't do it anymore. So, and that bring me then to Germany, back to Germany.
Back to land.
But there started another adventure. That was just with another step. This was just another step. It was anyway. It was a period of time which was immediately very interesting for me, because I was going to build a big expedition mobile, a big camper, a big camper with three arcs and six wheeler, 6x6 police truck, which we converted into a camper to drive with the truck to India, to the Dalai Lama. That was the next big thing. What I want to do. The Buddhists say you in the end you hold on to nothing, not even to your master. You can honor him, but you're not holding on to him.
Claro.
This is one of the teachings of the Buddhism. To accept this coming and going, and as more you want to become, as more freedom you have to let go. This is actually very easy to understand. Whatever you want to become, each thing costs you freedom. Only nobody is free. No, only nobody is free. It's the only one who's free. Nobody. Becoming nobody. This is very interesting. This is something to become, becoming nobody. I was already for 2-3 years ago, I was there, I was talking to the camera alone, and I said in the time, I said, hey, I don't even know my name anymore. I don't even know my name anymore. It doesn't make any sense anymore to me. No. So because this is the end of story, you forget yourself. And you becoming nobody is not a bad thing, not a bad goal. It sounds boring for the brain, for the mind, but it is a very honorable, achievable goal, I have to say. Naja, I would say that this is a good message, becoming nobody. This is the path I want to go. Yeah. Because when you are nobody, nothing can happen to you.